well as examining a couple alternate methods. So with that, let's get started. As a brief review, for my own benefit as well as anyone else's, there are 5 individual pieces that we'd want to be aware of in Excel. The first is the idea of a workbook. Here is essentially going to be a Excel file. Then we have worksheets, so worksheets are the tabs. We have the idea of columns, which are the vertical organization methods. And then we have rows, which are generally indicated by numbers. Then we have cells, which is a reference of that specific column, so in this case A, and the row, which is 1. So this is cell A1, this is cell B2, this is cell C3, so on and so forth. So in a single Excel file, a single workbook can have multiple sheets, just like a book in real life could have 1 sheet, or maybe it would have 500 sheets or pages, and each individual sheet can have multiple columns and multiple rows. Thus, you would have a series of cells. So, how do we add a new worksheet? When we create a new workbook in Excel, we can do this by pressing the Control key and the N key. The default number of sheets that is created will depend on 2 things. 1, it will depend on the version of Excel that you're using, and 2, it will depend on the number of settings that you have selected. So currently we have it, when creating new workbooks, we have 1 new worksheet, but we can set this to 3, so that next time when we create a new workbook, there are 3 worksheets. However, you may want more than 3 or less than 3, so in the next set of videos, we'll look at how to add and delete individual worksheets. If you wanted to add a worksheet, the fastest way is probably to press the Control key and the F11 function key. Pressing the Control key and the F11 function key will create a new worksheet instantaneously. Now you'll notice that there's a slightly different name when you use the keyboard shortcut Shift F11. When you create them with other methods, such as clicking this button here, it will be called Sheet 4. But when you press Control F11, it will be called Macro, Macro 1, Macro 2, Macro 3, and Macro 4. Macros are essentially just a automated way, a series of commands to achieve a desired result. In this case, it would be to create a new worksheet. So, the first way to create a new worksheet would be to press Control F11. That creates a new worksheet. A second way to create a new worksheet would be to click this little button here. A third way to create a new worksheet would be to come up here and go to Insert, Sheet. A fourth way to create a new worksheet would be to go to the keyboard and press the Alt key. Then we're going to press H for Home, and then you might guess where this is going. We're going to press I for Insert, and then S for Sheet. So again, there are 4 or more ways to create a new worksheet. The first is to press Control F11. Control F11 will create a new worksheet. Alternatively, we can come here and click this little button here. We can come up here on our Home tab, and under the Cells framework, we would go to Insert, Sheet, or lastly, we can press Alt, H, I, and then S for Sheet. In our next video, we will look at how to go to the next worksheet, the worksheet on our right, by using the keyboard shortcut Control P.